Hello, and welcome back to the Psych Legal Pop Podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about popular culture through the lens of an attorney and a therapist. I'm Brooke Brigham. I'm the attorney.
And I'm Tess Brigham. I'm the therapist.
Today, we are starting a new show. Ooh. Well, it's not a new show. It's been on for a while, but new to our podcast. And that is Seeking Sister Wife.
Wow.
Is it sister wife or sister wives? I think it's Seeking Sister Wife, singular.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is actually season 5, episode 1. Did it have a title?
Yes, I wrote it down. Seeking can be a shock.
Oh, okay. So there are 2 families who were on last season, 2 returning families, and then we have a few new families.
Yes.
And I have been watching this show since it started. Tess is new to it. So I don't know. Do you have any first impressions or?
Well, I had seen some episodes from the first season. But whoa, this was a lot to take in this show.
A lot happened in this episode.
Yeah. And it is, I don't know. I think I'm still processing it all, but it's interesting to see these various couples and families, and everybody seems to have their own version of what they believe polygamy is or should be,
and their own reasons for wanting it. Yeah.
Their own reasons, their own desires, and different ways of living their lives. And you get a sense that there is a real, I don't know what the word is for it. Like, some people seem to be really into adding more wives. Other people don't seem to be so into adding new wives.
Yeah.
It's hard to, the facial reactions. That's the part that's really hard. I think I'm trying to think about how do you recap this for a podcast, because it's the face. It's a lot of
rolling of eyes and yeah.
And people looking like deer in headlights. It's a lot of that, like as if this is the first time they're hearing some information.
Right. Well, and none of these couples, families, whatever you want to call them, none of this is religiously motivated. Mm-hmm. It's purely, I guess it's sort of a form of polyamory, although there's some questions about if some of these couples, if there is some polyamory, like sharing of partner, we'll talk about it when we get to it.
Yeah.
But, traditionally polygamy, it's, the women having sex only with one man, or I guess it could, we have one who, we actually have a reverse polygamy in this season. But in terms of the wives being sexual with each other, we haven't really seen that before, but a couple of these families, I'm not so sure what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess, it's funny because I was on Little Miss Recap when we were talking about Couple to Thruple. That was a show I was trying to get you in.
Yes, but I resisted.
You wouldn't do it. But in that show, they talk a lot about this polyamory. And I guess there's different, because I'm so, as the kids would say, I'm so vanilla. Mm-hmm. So I don't know enough about the culture in that world to really speak on it. But I think that with when you're poly, you're not necessarily changing partners, right?
See, we don't know. We shouldn't be speaking on this.
All right. I'm not going to get into it right now, but I'm very confused about some of I think I need to do some Googling after this or something. Well, but I don't think that with any of these couples or with these families, that there's not multiple partners. There's not. Oh God!
Well, there is multiple partners.
Sorry, thinking of Vicki Gundelson, multiple partners. There aren't more than one. They're not. When people are having sex, it's always 2 people. I guess that's the best way to phrase it, right?
Well, not always, but
right in these families, this is the structure.
What I'm talking about is the wives having sex with each other. Okay, obviously the man has sex with multiple women, but are the wives having sex with each other? That's my question.
Okay.
And in some of these families, I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. So nothing's been confirmed, but you have a suspicion.
I have a suspicion.
Okay, got it. I'm with you now. Sorry, I was getting very confused.
Yeah. Let's not get too deep into this.
I'm confused already.
I know. Okay, so
I'm so old.
Let's go family by family. Who should we start with?
Well, according to my notes, they started with the Davis family.
Okay, well,
this one, woof.
The Davis family is they're returning from last year. So it started out, it was just Nick, and he had 2 wives, April and Jen, and they were looking for another sister wife, and so they added Danielle to their family last season. And in between, I guess Jen was pregnant at the end of the last season. She's since had a baby, Nick's baby, and the baby's now 1.
Okay.
Vera is the baby. So they're, okay, Nick does not work.
Yes.
He stays home and, I don't know, thinks, reads, ponders the meaning of life.
Yeah, he is at home so that he can do activities that he finds most enriching. Thinking, feeling, and pondering. Thinking, feeling, and thinking about life. Thinking about big issues.
The meaning of life.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Nick, I don't know if this man is, a fool or a genius.
I know.
I think he's a genius.
He has conned 3 women into working full time.
So all 3 women, all 3 women work full time? All 3 of them. Wow.
Yes. Okay. All 3 of them work.
And they just said they bought a new house, and that looked like a nice. Where do they live? They're in Colorado.
Aurora,
Colorado.
Yeah.
Which a lot of these families are in Colorado, so I don't know what's going on there, but I don't know how expensive it is to live in Aurora, Colorado, but
they have 3 incomes.
I guess so. I mean, but they just bought a 4-bedroom house. That house looked big.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, he's really,
but he's got 3 incomes. They got Danielle in there, and now they're able to upgrade. Yeah. Because remember, April was talking about how this house is twice the size of our old house.
Yeah.
They have 4 bedrooms, and there's plenty of room and blah. So I think it's a little genius. And I think April, being the first wife, obviously she and Nick started this.
Yeah.
They started this. So she's kind of in on it too.
Well, she's working though, right?
Right. But she's like, we need more income. We need not just my income. And, Nick doesn't have time to work.
Thinking takes up a lot of your time. Yeah. You don't want to go to work and think.
And then he said that now, that they have Vera, he's a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no, you're not. You are not taking care of that baby all day, every day.
Yeah, that's what I would really love to see. Is that do all 3 of these women work the exact same shift? I somehow feel like they're all working, but then
there's always someone
home. And I bet there is no way that Nick's getting up in the middle of the night. There's no way he's doing all this stuff.
There's no way he's spending. When would he, if you're taking care of a 1-year-old all day, when do you have time to think?
That's a good question.
You would have no time to think about the meaning of life. And then,
Yeah. You just want to take a shower. That's all you want to do when you're taking care of a baby. It's like, I just want to shower and eat by myself for 10 minutes, I know. That's your dream.
So he's really conned these women. And now they want to add a 4th wife, and everyone's on board except Danielle, because she's very young. She's only 24.
Well, and I think she already feels, you can see it, right? Where she's already feeling like, and I can understand that. Why do you need someone else? You wooed me. I didn't watch last season, but I can imagine you wooed me. You got me here. I'm in this life. I'm living it with you. And she said that I just got married. We just had this baby. If we see ourselves as a family, this is her child too. So, and now we have to upset the apple cart. We have to add, you just bought a house. Like, there have been a lot of changes in these people's lives. So then I understand where Danielle's coming from. It's sort of a combination of things, right? Of a feeling of, this is all happening really fast. And also maybe a fear of, is this what our lives are going to look like every 2 years? Like, when is the end?
Yeah, because April is saying that she wants to have a total of at least 5 or 6 wives.
She wants to get to a point where she can quit her job.
Yeah, she wants to retire.
Yeah. So she's just like, how many women do I need to get in here so that I can now quit my job and think full time with Nick at home and watch and be stay-at-home parents.
Yeah. And it's like, where are you going to put all these people?
And just get a bigger house.
Okay. And here's the weird thing with them. They all sleep in the same bed.
Yeah.
They have this custom made 12-foot wide bed.
And where do they get the sheets for that? You have to custom buy all those sheets, too.
Yeah, they have to be custom.
Yeah. That must be so expensive.
They all sleep in the same bed. But I guess they don't have sex in the bed. They have another bed for that in this room they call the boom boom room.
But so, Danielle doesn't like that.
Danielle doesn't like that. But so when he wants to have sex, he takes one of them in there and does it. And it's just like, this is so creepy. And I don't know what's going on in that bed. I mean, who sleeps next to who? Do you rotate? Who gets to sleep next to Nick, or who has to be in the middle?
And then the second wife, who is that?
Jen.
That's Jen. She then makes a comment about how, we have enough room for all of us, plus, some extra room for some other things. And it's like, what other things?
More wives.
Is it more wives?
Yeah.
I thought she meant like for fooling around. And I was like, well, wait a second. Hold on a second. But I thought you were all going into this other room. So why do you need room in the bed? I don't know. I'm so confused.
I don't know, but
I don't know what's happening here.
It creeps me out.
And I'm just telling you right now, I don't want to sleep with 4 other people.
No, you know how hot that would be?
Like, if you're in the middle, you are trapped in this heat.
Yeah, and you have to get up and go to the bathroom. You got to crawl over people.
Or you got to go through the bottom. And then, God forbid someone snores. Nick snores.
Yeah.
And that at least one of the other wives snores. So it's like, then what if you can't sleep? And then the baby's crying. Like, who? So if you're always at the end, does the end person have to get the baby?
Probably. They probably stick Jen on the end. Or no, they probably stick Danielle there. Because she's sort of become like a, I don't know, like a nanny. Yeah. And childcare too. Like, that. Oh, yeah. I don't.
Chicago, 2011. A cop is murdered. Police and prosecutors swear they have the trigger man. He swears he didn't do it. How far will each side go to prove they're right?
Like it's just one bombshell after another, where you're like, what?
The story of a PlayStation, a brain-eating amoeba, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Off Duty, out now. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
With almost 500,000 customers and over $1 trillion of secure payments, Bill isn't new to intelligent finance. It's the proven way to simplify bill pay and maximize cash flow. Want to learn more? Visit Bill.com/proven for a special offer.
Let's be completely honest. Are you happy with your job? The fact is, a huge number of people can't say yes to that. Too many of us are stuck in a job we've outgrown or one we never really wanted in the first place. But we stick it out and we give reasons like, what if the next move is worse? And I've put years into this place. And maybe the most common one, isn't everyone miserable at work? But there's a difference between reasons for staying and excuses for not leaving. It's time to get unstuck. It's time for Strawberry.me. They match you with a certified career coach who helps you get from where you are to where you want to be, either at your existing job or by helping you find a new one. Your coach helps clarify your goals, creates a plan, and keeps you accountable along the way. Go to strawberry.me/career and get 50% off your first coaching session. That's strawberry.me/career.
I don't know. So Danielle, every time the camera cuts to Danielle, she is like, has this blank stare on her face, and she's kind of like blinking a little bit like a hostage.
Yeah.
It's like a hostage video or something.
Yeah.
I'm worried for her.
Yeah. I don't know how Danielle's going to do. I don't think Danielle wants this new person to come in. I just don't think that she feels strong enough to demand or to say or say I'm out. I don't know.
Well, I think she knew what she was signing up for. I mean, they're pretty clear. I don't remember them saying anything last season about, this is it, after Danielle.
Yeah, I know, but I just feel like obviously from the look on her face, it feels like a lot of this feels a little out left field for her. I'm just wondering, and I didn't watch last season, so I don't know, but I'm just wondering what did they promise her? What did they say to her? Because if they said to her, well, yes, and in about 2 years, we're going to look for someone else. Like every 2 years, we're going to bring someone new.
Yeah.
Then she shouldn't be so shocked. The look on her face is as if this is new information.
And you know what? Now that I think about it, because April and Jen are legally married, because Nick wanted it that way, probably because he doesn't want to be married to anyone, because they might have to, pay somebody something someday. But I remember them saying that they wanted to find someone for Danielle to marry. So I think there was talk of this. These are our future plans. You're going to come into the family, and then we'll get another sister wife, and then you guys will be married, and you'll be connected. And because he was saying it was very important to him that his wives were married to each other.
Yeah.
So I think she knew what the plan was, but I think maybe she was in denial about it, or
maybe they told her, in the future, and she thought the future was like at least 5 years away. Yeah, and in the future to them might mean 2 years. Yeah. I'm not saying that people are deceiving each other. I'm just saying that when they had this conversation, they weren't specific on time, because there's some time thing. But my favorite was Nick explaining how he and the wives work together. So, and in terms of sex and how often they have sex, where Nick is the son, if I got this right, Nick is the son, and all of the wives are planets, and the planets rotate in the orbit of the sun, right? But each planet it gets different things from the sun, right? Am I thinking?
Yeah. All the planets, they might not get the same amount of sunlight.
Okay.
But they get
the sunlight that they need.
The sunlight that they need.
They get the attention that they need. So basically what that means is Nick's like, listen, I'm sleeping with all these women. I am taking care of their sexual needs, but everyone's needs are different. That's how I interpreted that. But and again, this is one of these things that, Nick is working on when he's home alone all day.
Studying the solar system.
And he's like, oh, wait, I'm the sun. And it's like Danielle and Jen, and Jen is Pluto, and Danielle is Saturn, and and they all rotate, and this is how I'm going to do it.
Yeah, and if he hadn't had all that time alone to think, he never would have been able to come up with that. We would be. But we would be worse off for not having heard that.
A lot of people might be judging Nick, but I now might think that he's the smartest man ever, because really he's able to have sex with lots of different women. He doesn't have to work. He has the privilege of having a partners, a child. I mean, he's got it all. He has got it all. And you're right. If he's not married, if he's not legally married to anyone, these women are attached to each other, but he's not. He can pick up tomorrow and be like, peace out, and you don't owe me anything.
Right. He's not legally connected to anybody.
But he is the father of that child, so he does have to pay something for that child.
Yeah. But not if he's not working.
I guess that's true, right? Yeah, he has no income. So what are they going to go after if he never has an income?
Yeah. No, he's gaming the system for sure.
He's thought this through. So anyway, that's them.
And so anything else more about them?
Not really. It was just a lot of like getting to know you, and then they were at this toy store and they look at a ton of toys, and then they only end up buying her like a little teeny tiny doll. I didn't know what that was about.
Yeah,
I thought they were looking for like a birthday gift.
Yeah, this is her first birthday, and she just gets this little. It's not even a full-size doll.
No, it was like, I bet you anything, it was like $5.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That was weird. They just needed content. And so the second family that we meet is the Sherwood family. Am I right about that?
Is that Ashley?
That's Ashley and Shane.
Yeah.
And they're new, right?
They're new.
And this is a little different. Their situation's different.
Yeah. This is like the reverse. So Ashley... They are seeking a sister wife for Ashley, who I guess is not going to be intimate or sexual with Shane.
But they want Shane and this woman that will come in to have a child. So I'm assuming via artificial insemination, IUI or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And this, I don't know. Ashley kind of scares me. She seems a little psycho. Okay, so they've only been married a couple years.
Been married 2 years. They have one baby. They have a son. And then she's currently
pregnant.
6 months pregnant.
Now, very quickly, so they got married, they met through competitive axe throwing.
Yes.
Just didn't know such a thing existed. And then, they got married pretty quickly, got pregnant pretty quickly. And then somewhere in like 2021, she said that she started thinking about that maybe she was bisexual, started having this feeling attraction for women.
Yes.
But then she didn't act on it until
January
2023.
of 23. Yeah.
So my question is, when she acted on it, did Shane did he say this was, did he know about it? Did he say it was okay? She didn't describe at all how that went down and how that happened. And then he tells a story that makes this even more strange, that he had a long-term girlfriend in college who came out as being gay.
Yeah.
And he thought that it was because of something he did wrong. Mm-hmm. Okay, so he's already got that going on.
Yes.
That he probably never really processed or got any therapy over or anything. Then he gets married and his wife announces that she's attracted to women and I guess starts having experiences with women and now wants to bring a woman into their house to be her sexual partner. It's not really like a sister wife. That's not a sister-wife relationship.
But hold on a second. She did mention something, another mom for the boys. So it sounds like she's having another boy. So she said another mom for the boys. So there is that other feeling of, you also want a
babysitter too.
You want a babysitter.
All these people want babysitters.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
And so you also want someone to come in, but you want to have this other separate relationship. And listen, it's fine, but I get the sense of what you're saying is that you feel a little bit like Shane got hoodwinked a little bit, or Shane got pushed into maybe something that he isn't completely on board.
No, he's not on board with this. You can tell with his body language, his facial expressions. She goes on a date. Ashley goes on a date with the woman who did her makeup for her wedding, Grace, who, and then she comes home and you can tell he's kind of jealous. He's asking questions. He's like, have you guys ever talked about me, or is she going to meet me? And she's like, well, no, we don't really talk about you. It never came up. Like he's already feeling like pushed out. And then he's questioning her about, well, are you attracted to her? And she's like, I don't know yet. They've been on like 5 dates.
Yeah, that's
if you're attracted. She's weird. Okay, I'm telling you, she is weird. There's something about her I can just tell.
Well, hold on. Do you think that it's possible that she is attracted to Grace, but she just doesn't know how to say this to Shane? Like she just feels so...
But why?
I don't know. I guess you've got this camera crew in your house.
Show.
I guess you're already there.
Yes,
I don't know.
You're on a show where you're seeking a sister wife, they call it, but this is not, in their case, we're not really a sister wife. It's, I don't know.
Brooke has the most pained look on her face right now. Like she's just trying to figure this all out. These
people are
justice for Shane, I guess.
Yes, I feel like he's a victim.
Shane and Danielle should get together and form their own
It's
club.
almost like this is happening to him again, but in a different way.
Yeah, I mean, and I can imagine too, if you're married for 2 years, and I think this goes for both men and women, right? Which is you've been married a couple years, your partner comes to you 2 years into a marriage,
right? And you have a kid,
and says either I would like to open up our marriage, or I'd like to bring someone else in, or I am bisexual. I've just realized this and I want to act on it. Yeah, because the reality is that. What's her name again? Ashley? Ashley can be bisexual and not have a girlfriend. Do you know what I mean? She can be bisexual. That's fine. But Shane does have the right to say, even though you're bisexual, we're in a committed relationship, and that's the relationship that we agreed upon when we got married. Right. So I think there's that other part too, where I kind of feel like Ashley's using an excuse of like, okay, now I've just realized this about myself. So therefore I should be able to act on it. And it's like, well, hold on a second. Then you have to decide. I mean, I guess then it's on to Shane.
Because that's Shane's choice. This is not what he signed up for. No. And I feel like he's only entertaining this because he doesn't want to get a divorce.
Yeah, and because they have a little kid.
They have a kid. She's pregnant.
Yeah.
He does not want to break up his family. So he's trying to go along with this.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He just doesn't look like he's going to last.
But I feel like Ashley is being a little
selfish.
Yes, and cagey with him.
Yeah.
Because he's like, well, you've gone on 5 dates. And she's like, I don't know if I'm attracted to her. And it's like, you are attracted to her. You wouldn't keep dating her.
They kissed.
Yeah. Well, no tongue or anything.
No, but I mean, on the mouth. They hugged and kissed on the mouth.
I don't kiss my friends on the mouth.
Yeah. If you're not attracted to someone, you're not going to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. She is attracted to her. She does, like, they do flirt.
She won't admit it. And why is she torturing him like this?
I don't know.
Why is she? Yeah, she's being cagey and coy and playing a game. I don't like her.
Okay, well, Ashley's out.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens with her. And that's pretty much all we see with them. It was just the main thrust of their thing was the date that not Danielle, Ashley
and Grace.
And Grace went to the bowling alley
Grace
together.
Seems kind of...
Grace has no interest in Shane at all. And I think that's the other part of it too that's a problem, is that you've got to find someone who wants to have a relationship with you, but also is okay with having a child with this other man that they're not even picking.
Like. Yeah.
And they're not picking him. It's not like, you know what I mean? It's very different in the sense where we've seen with these other shows where the couple comes together and it's like we're a package deal. Mm-hmm. So everyone has to get along versus this, which feels, you're right, very siloed. She's like, well, no, you stay at home, Shane, and I'm going to go off and I'm going to make decisions. Right. And I think that if the genders were reversed, I think people would be like, oh my God, this is awful. Yeah. But because it's a female, I think people are less inclined to empathize with Shane, but not here at Psych Legal Pop. We see you, Shane.
I am Team Shane.
All right.
For now. Well, who knows?
See what
Anything
happens.
can happen.
And then the next one, these people were, these people, is it the Merrifields?
The Merrifields.
Garrick and Danielle. Yes. And so they were on before. So tell us about them.
This is their third season.
This is their third season?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So that other last woman was 2 seasons of that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Psych Legal Pop will be back after these messages.
This message comes from Jackson. Taxes aren't something you can only think about once a year. With investments, planning for tax day is year-round. Fortunately, Jackson offers tax-efficient products. Visit jackson.com for more information on how our products can make your tax bill a little bit less painful. Jackson is short for Jackson Financial Incorporated, Jackson National Life Insurance Company, Lansing, Michigan, and Jackson National Life Insurance Company of New York, Purchase, New York.
Chicago, 2011. A cop is murdered. Police and prosecutors swear they have the trigger man. He swears he didn't do it. How far will each side go to prove they're right?
Like it's just one bombshell after another, where you're like, what?
The story of a PlayStation, a brain-eating amoeba, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Off Duty, out now. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Okay, Garrick and Danielle. Now, oh God, where to start? So first, let's start off with Garrick's explanation. I don't even know what was he even talking about prior to this?
I don't know. He basically was saying that he, for 5 years, they've been practicing polygamy, but it doesn't sound like they've ever had a woman permanently stay. Not successfully. That he sees this as religious.
Yes, it's in the scriptures.
It's in the scriptures, and that the Holy. So I didn't understand that. So the Holy Ghost, when God or the scriptures are referring to the Holy Ghost, that is
sperm.
Okay, and – so the way it works is that a man can take his Holy Ghost, his sperm, and
put it into the woman.
And when he does that, what happens is that his DNA gets into her body and into her brain and almost changes things.
Yeah. But it doesn't work the other way around.
No.
A woman can't do that to a man.
Yeah, a woman cannot transfer DNA to a man. A man can only transfer DNA to a woman. Now, what does any of this got to do with why they're doing this? I don't know. But that was just such a great explanation that he gave for something that we don't even know what he's talking about. I mean, my God. Does this guy really believe this? Like, he's just making stuff up as he's going along.
I also think, look, Garrick he just wants to fuck other women. And so he came up with this religious idea thing. So he's trying to justify it, basically, because probably they come from, conservative. Danielle said we come from a conservative background, and maybe I don't know what religion they are or what's going on, but he's bending over backwards to justify that it's science, it's scripture, it's whatever it takes. I'm going to justify what I'm doing. Now, this is the most egregious thing about these two. So the first season, he met this woman who was from Brazil, Roberta, and they had met up in Mexico, and they were hot and heavy. They were like,
did Garrick have sex with Roberta?
Yeah, well, I'll get to that.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so in order to get Roberta to the U.S., Garrick and Danielle legally divorced, and they got her applied for a 90-day fiancé visa. So there's a scene.
Do you think it's possible that they applied for that show too?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe they got rejected. Yeah. They have this scene where they're in court, and Danielle is in front of the judge, and the judge is asking, is your marriage irretrievably broken? And, whatever ceremony they go. I've never seen this happen in real life.
I didn't know that happened when you got a divorce, but okay.
Yeah. Maybe it was just for TV, but he's asking her. It was a real courtroom. It was real court. And she's in there and she's under oath, and she says, yes. And it's a lie. She perjured herself.
Yes, she did.
To get this divorce on television. What an idiot. So anyway, okay, I had to throw that in there. Okay. Then they all go to Mexico in the first season they're on. The whole family, even is it Garrick's parents or Danielle's parents? I think it's Danielle's parents. They come along. They're 2 kids. They have 2 boys. They come along, and they did bang, and they banged once, like while Danielle went down the hall to go get her pajamas on.
What?
Okay, so they're in like Bert's room, and they're all like kind of sitting on the bed.
Who's Bert? Dad?
They called her Roberta.
Oh my God, who is Bert now?
They sometimes call her Bert.
Got it.
So they're in her room talking, and they're like, oh, this is so fun. This is just kind of like a little slumber party, whatever. And Danielle's like, well, man, I should go put my pajamas on. They're like, yeah, go put your pajamas on. So literally she goes and she's doing a talking head thing out in the hallway, so she's right outside their room. She's gotten her pajamas. I think they were stalling to not let her back in.
Oh God, the poor producers.
Roberta later tells her that they banged like when she went to get her pajamas.
I mean, how long of a hallway was that? Like how long does it take you to put on pajamas?
Not very long.
Not saying much about Garrick here.
So I think the producers were stalling, saying, oh, tell us some more about what are you guys doing? So,
can't wait to watch that. I'm gonna run home and watch that one.
So anyway, then they went to Brazil to visit her in the next season. And at the same time, they started dating this woman in LA. They came to LA, and this woman I don't know. I think she was an actress. I don't know. They seem to have no interest in her or her and them. I mean, it was really weird. I think it was to kind of make Roberta jealous or something. And she did. She got very jealous. You saw that scene where she was upset because I guess Garrick
something about
kissed
kissing.
her.
Oh, okay. Now I understand. Yes.
So because Roberta was not on board for this sister wives thing. She liked Danielle, but I think she was just using her to butter her up. And she was extorting money from these people.
So she never wanted to come to the U.S.?
She kept stalling. Like, they got her this visa. So it came out that they had been paying for all kinds of stuff for her, giving her money. And she just never had any intention of coming. She kept making excuses, like she couldn't come because she had to take her mother to the doctor, and she couldn't come because of this and that. And she's just stalling. And finally, it just became clear that, like, she wasn't coming. And she used, I think, her fake jealousy over this other woman that they were dating as an excuse to break it off with them. But she just broke it off because she had no intentions of coming here.
And you're saying this family seems to have some money because they
built a nice big, new custom home.
Yeah. And they're in Colorado as well. Where in Colorado are they?
I think is it Boulder? I'm not sure.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And here's another creepy thing. When they built the home, they built it with the design that Garrick would have his own bedroom. And then Roberta and Danielle would just cycle in, and they would have their own bedroom that they had to share.
Oh, God.
Like a woman's quarters.
Yeah.
Like sleeping quarters.
So wait a minute. So it's a 2-bedroom. Oh, and they have 2 kids, too.
Yeah. I mean, it's more than 2 bedrooms. I mean, I'm sure it's probably a 4 or 5 bedroom home, but they built.
But as opposed to Garrick going to each of their rooms the way,
Yeah. So he had his own bedroom, and then they would come in, they'd take turns, and then they had to share a room.
Yeah. Ugh.
It was very
like
strange.
These poor 2 adult women. Like,
I know.
I'm sorry, but if you're past a certain age in your life, I think once you're past college age, sharing a room with someone, I mean, come on.
I know.
That's ridiculous.
So that's the background.
Okay. So does Danielle want this? Or does Danielle want to make Garrick happy?
I truly believe Danielle just wants to make him happy. Again, this is a situation where you are married. You have 2 kids together. You, have all your assets together. I mean, I think that he came up with this cockamamie idea, and she wants to stay married to him. So what choice does she have?
Yeah.
I don't think she wants this at all. Okay. Because she gets, I mean, she liked Roberta, but she was insecure and jealous, and yeah.
Well, so now for this season, they found someone new, Natalia, who is 26. How old was Roberta? She must have been a little
bit older, maybe more like early to mid 30s.
So she's 26. They've been dating her for 4.5 months, and this woman is also from Brazil.
Yeah.
So Garrick has a type.
Yeah.
Garrick definitely has a type. And that type doesn't look like Danielle.
No.
And I can understand maybe that's why Danielle feels a little insecure about these things.
Latino women.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
So basically we see scenes of them, packing all the things that remind them of Roberta. Like they had, God, how many American flags did they have? They had about a dozen American flags that they were going to use for
at the airport.
Yeah. So they throw all that stuff away, and then each of them have to tell, I guess, what is it? Is it Danielle's brother and sister-in-law about what's happening? Because Sam and Samantha, because they've been part of this whole journey with them, and so they've got to hear about this new person. And obviously, they're, Sam and Samantha are just like, you've got to be kidding me! Another woman from Brazil. Yeah, we're going to go through this again.
Yeah, last season they were very vocal about how they just thought that this was crazy. And they were right. I mean, Roberta was using them. They got scammed, basically.
I wonder how much money they gave to Roberta.
She had adult braces. I'm sure they paid for that.
Yeah.
I remember them towards the end when it got to, when the truth came out and the shit hit the fan, they started talking about how they had given money for...
Wow.
Her and her mother, I think they were supporting them.
Yeah. So why? I mean, that's the part about it. It's like you've been through all of this. You've gone down this road. There are women in Colorado that are, Latina. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, Garrick has a type. Like, there's no other women near you or even in the United States that would be interesting to you. I mean, why do you keep going? It's almost like he has this weird fantasy in his mind of like, I want a Latina woman from Brazil, Rio. I want that, because wouldn't you, after this experience, be like, this isn't going to work for me? Well,
again, I think Garrick, he just wants to figure out how he can have sex with other women
without
blowing up his family,
without being a bad guy and cheating, and so he's going to be a good guy and do it while his wife is down the hall putting on her pajamas,
and I can't wait to see what happens with this new girl, because no.
Well, and she's even younger and she's got less attachment to anything. I mean, okay. Well, the last family is it the Salahuddins?
Salahuddins, or
it's like Naeem and Nyla and I'm so sorry, I'm mispronouncing their last name. Salahuddin's family.
Close enough.
Okay. So they've been together 15 years. So their situation's a little different, because I don't get the sense they've ever done anything like this before.
No.
But they've been together 15 years. They've raised as Muslims. And they do say that polygamy is part of Islam. That I guess the idea of it is like every woman deserves a husband, but sometimes there aren't enough husbands to go around. And they have met a woman named Keisha. She lives in Georgia. I didn't get where they live, though. And so it was Nyla. It was her idea to introduce the idea of having another wife, because Naeem really thrives on love and support and words of affirmation.
The more attention he gets, the happier he is.
Yes.
And I think Nyla's tired of having to give him so much attention.
I think Nyla's like, it's been 15 years.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sick of your neediness.
Yeah.
I want to pass this on to another woman. And quite frankly, I don't care who you fuck. Just leave me alone.
I need some me time.
Yes. And they never talk about kids. So I don't know if they don't have kids or if they're just not mentioning their children, but it didn't seem, I didn't think there were no kids there.
No.
So, and so their big storyline is that they invited his mother over, Jamila, to talk to her about what's going on. And quite frankly, justice for Jamila, because they really,
They were rude to her.
They were very rude to her. And basically they sit down, they're having dinner and they start telling her about this. And I guess she already knew that this is something they talked about. Obviously the camera crew's here. Right. So this is the show. So, but they ask her, they're saying, well, we don't need your approval, but they're telling her. So if you're telling her and then she's coming back.
They were asking her for her opinion.
Yes.
And then when she gave it to them,
they didn't like it.
Yeah.
Because she didn't agree with them.
Right.
And they're like, well, because the mother-in-law felt like, okay, that just sounds germy. That's what she said. And the two of them took such offense to that. And it's like, but how did you think she was going to respond?
Right.
And if she responded with, okay, great, that's wonderful, would you have been okay with that? It's almost like they wanted to fight.
They wanted to fight. They got super defensive. And again, they asked her for her opinion and she gave it. And so leave her alone. And, they just kind of kept arguing with her. And Naeem, I don't know, there's something off about him. He got real. This is his mother.
Yeah.
And he got real kind of nasty with her real quick.
Yeah.
There's something about him.
Yeah, there's something about this Naeem guy that I find it all very convenient that like, oh, we've been married together and there's nothing here. And now she's come up with this idea and now we're doing this and now the mom's here and now we have to explain it to mom. It's like, I get the feeling that maybe Naeem has been a lot, but I also wonder if Naeem's cheated on her before, or there's been some issues, or he's expressed that, and she kind of feels like, okay, maybe this is the solution.
Yeah, if you're gonna cheat, like, do it in front of me. I don't know.
Or at least I know who it is. Excuse me. So that's the thing. I don't know what they wanted from mom, but mom was just like, Mom isn't into it. So mom has the right to not be into it. Why do you have to yell at her?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
And there's something off about these people.
Because that's right. She said that he's her third son. So I don't know how many kids there are, but maybe they have a strained relationship or something. But yeah, you're right. He was rough with her.
Yeah.
Really rough with her and mad that she wasn't accepting of it instantly.
Right.
So...
Well, and also, obviously, they've talked to her about it. She knows why she's there. And he probably already knows how she feels. I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to make drama. Maybe these people just seem like they really want to be on this show and they're going to make some drama.
Yeah. Well, and that's pretty much their whole thing. Their whole thing was just introducing themselves and then having mom over. And that's just the 4 couples, right? It's just the 4 of them.
Well, yeah. And then they show in the scenes from next week, I think there's going to be a 5th couple.
Okay. That's right. Because someone
kissed. Introduced. Yeah. Someone did something they weren't supposed to.
This is the other thing. I just want to go back to Ashley and Shane because I was just looking at my notes. At one point, Ashley says, when they're talking about this whole arrangement, Ashley says, there's nothing to be jealous of if you know what's happening. And so it's this idea of Shane shouldn't be jealous because as long as I'm telling him I'm going out with Grace and I'm dating Grace and this is what's happened, there shouldn't be jealousy.
Yeah.
And that's a real misconception here because I think that a lot of these couples and a lot of these shows that we watch, everybody just loves, this was a whole thing on Love is Blind too, about communication. We communicate well. We communicate. We tell each other everything. We communicate. And it's like, communication isn't just telling people like, I don't like you or I want to sleep with someone else. Oh, we're communicating. Part of communication is figuring out what I'm going to say, how I'm going to say it. Timing and tone are huge. And are the things that I share with my partner and how I feel just because I have these feelings, is my partner the best person to talk about this with them and process this with them, right? It's this idea of everyone now says, well, as long as we talk to each other and we communicate about things, that therefore
I'm off the hook.
Yeah. Or whatever my bad behavior is, or behavior in which I've hurt your feelings. Like, telling someone, well, I want to cheat on you. Well, I've communicated that to you, so you shouldn't feel bad about it. It's like, no, if the other person, of course, is going to feel bad because that's going to bring up a lot of, it's going to evoke a lot of feelings.
He doesn't want this.
Yeah.
He did not ask for this and he does not want it. He's going along with it to try to keep her. And so, no, it's not okay just because he knows what's happening. This is hurting him.
Yeah. But I feel like she's gaslighting him a little bit. I feel like she's kind of there saying this stuff to the camera and Shane's just like, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah. No, she's just awful. Poor Shane. I mean, he's...
Yeah. Ooh, boy, this is going to be a doozy of a show. That's all I can say, because this was,
yeah.
I can't wait to go back and watch the old episodes. Might have to run home and watch the rest, but yeah.
Yeah, the Merrifields, they were on the last 2 seasons, so yeah, the thing with Roberta and that, like I said, that kind of fake woman that they weren't really dating. Yeah, that's fascinating.
Yeah. And that's the show.
That's everything. Show. That's I'm excited.
Yes. So
Seeking Sisterwise is back.
Yes.
So we're going to be recapping this every Tuesday. And on Thursday, we are going to be having different topics, documentaries, trials, murders, stuff like that.
Well, this Thursday is the Love is Blind reunion.
Oh, that's right.
And then the week after that, we will come back with we're going to be talking about a few documentaries with a very special guest.
Yes.
Very exciting.
So if you like Love is Blind, we have all those episodes you could listen to, and then the reunion. So check it out. And thanks for supporting us. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our podcast. And also, if you could give us a 5-star rating, that would really help. It helps to grow the podcast and people can find it easier. And we're on Instagram and TikTok at PsychLegalPop. And you can also email us at psychlegalpoppodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening, and spread the word of the podcast. Psych Legal Pop across the nation, across the world.
Oh, boy.
Woohoo.
All right.
All right. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
When it comes to managing money, forget the hype and look at the results. Bill has $1 trillion of secure payments powering our bill pay tools. Instead of just moving money, Bill is powering the financial operations of nearly 500,000 customers. So stop the guesswork and start scaling with the proven choice. Ready to talk with an expert? Visit Bill.com/proven to get started. And grab a $250 gift card as a thank you. Terms and conditions apply. See offer page for details.
Pepsi Prebiotic Cola in original and cherry vanilla. That Pepsi taste you love, with no artificial sweeteners, only 30 calories, just 5 grams of sugar, and 3 grams of prebiotic fiber. That great Pepsi taste with even more to love. Pepsi Prebiotic Cola. Unbelievably Pepsi.